setting up this clip, we're getting that good shit, that Rafa and Novak matchup, the best matchup in tennis because both won their matches today. But Rafael Nadal coming through against Diego Schwartzmen in what was also a very fun match that showed the level of two top 10 players in the world. Uh, Schwartzman took the first set off Nadal that anyone has taken off him in this 2021 French Open. And it was real back and forth at first. Nadal takes the first one, Schwartzman takes the second. And then Schwartzman came out ahead in the third. It was just this punch, counter punch, where both had broken each other's serve. Neither had like a particularly deadly, impossible to beat serve, but a good enough one to win most of the time, but nothing unbreakable. And it set up this rhythm where someone would get a break, someone would break right back, someone would get a break, ride the momentum, and it was just going back and forth until Nadal dug in somewhere in that third set after going down 2-0. And I've been thinking all podcast about this and not really sure where to sneak it in, like talking about the Avs struggling, talking about with basketball, how runs go. But just like the most remarkable thing about tennis is just the mental perseverance and ability to weather it and have that constant like momentum shifting in you, around you, against you, and to stay consistent and believe in yourself. And that's, you could tell that's what won it for Rafa today. And he gives, he takes, he gets some, he gives it back, and just stays unfazed, unflapped onto the next point, and will just not break first. And Schwartzman had to be really good to get any points off Rafa. There's not going to be anything easy there. A defensive player, and he had to be a bit more offensive than I think he's normally comfortable with to earn his points, which was good enough for a while, but then eventually just couldn't keep up, and Rafa ran away with it in the end. He took the fourth set 6-0. I think he won 8 games straight and 24 of 29 points in those 6 games in the fourth set. So a bludgeoning at the end from Rafa. On Djokovic's side, a very different game where he had all the success early and then it got really tight down the stretch. If anyone listening is interested, on our website, all my notes throughout the game are up. I'm looking at them right now. It's way too long for me to bore with for the whole thing, but Matteo Berrettini, man, just this like 6'5" Italian, top 10 in the world, deadly serve. I almost never saw him going under 200 kilometers an hour on his first serve. His second serves were coming in around like 175, which was Djokovic's average first serve on plenty. And then his forehand, like just as hard, it felt like watching. And those two things really were good enough to really push a perfect, near perfect Djokovic. I mean, early Djokovic was able to kind of get enough of a handle on the serve where he was finding a couple breaks in the first 2 sets. I think he went 6-3 and 6-2. It felt like he had a read. He was guessing right, diving to the right side, and doing a really effective job of pushing the returns into the corner deep so that Berrettini couldn't get that killer forehand off a serve that, quite frankly, he's probably not used to being returned at that rate. And then it got really tight in the third set. Berrettini locked in on his serve. Tons of credit to Djokovic for his serve, actually, as well. His serve was more effective than Berrettini, despite being consistently slower. Berrettini was serving hard and fast, but it was coming up sometimes and giving Djokovic a chance. A lot of Djokovic's serves were low. The high ones then would be that much more effective because Berrettini was expecting low. He'd mix spin in there. A lot of them were clocking between 150, 175. He had that fastball in his pocket if he wanted to. It especially was noteworthy in the first game. Berrettini got 3 break points all match, and all 3 of them came in that first set, and Djokovic was perfect, saving them all. His serve was huge in that. On to the third set, it went to a tiebreak. Seemed like Djokovic had it. He was serving up 5-4 with 2 serves to go. He made 2 unforced errors. So basically gave the shootout to Berrettini with his serve, putting him up 6-5. And then really didn't know what way the momentum was going to go in the fourth set. Similar situation building where, like, just from the third set onwards, both guys were so perfect on their serve. I forgot to mention Djokovic made 5 unforced errors in the entire third set that went to tiebreak, and 2 of them were the ones that lost him the match. Like, how crazy is that? He made 3 unforced errors, was serving like near perfectly, and it still went to a tiebreak, and he still lost that set. Yeah, and then the fourth set, Djokovic got real emotional towards the end. He was up 6-5. Berrettini was serving for the set. I think the mental pressure got to him a little. He made 2 unforced errors. That was good enough to give Djokovic an opportunity. He didn't get his first match point because Berrettini, with a fantastic serve, goes into deuce, doesn't get the second match point that he forces because Berrettini had an unanswerable forehand. He showed a lot of emotion after that, earned himself another match point, and just held smart, held dangerous in the rally, and finally got it. And you could just tell I don't see Djokovic that emotional that often, but it was such a fantastic match to watch because it was a matter of Djokovic looking so damn perfect, and Berrettini still really managed to threaten him with just unanswerable. I think I wrote at the front of the website, it was a flawless performance meeting like unreturnable shots. And it was a tennis clinic from Djokovic, which was so entertaining to watch. And it sets up the best matchup in tennis between these two, who have all the shot making ability, and even more importantly, all the mental confidence, perseverance, integrity that, you know, neither guy's going to quit, give up on themselves. It doesn't matter what the score is going to be. They're going to play their best tennis every point, which happens to be pretty damn good tennis. And I'm very excited for it.
Yes, I am as well. And who will be dubbed the King of Clay for this year? We shall find out. It's going to be awesome.
Poor Djokovic, man. He's been to 11 French Open semifinals, and no one's ever going to talk about it because Rafa's been to 14.
Yeah.
But yeah, and